For nearly 2 years, I've been posting channel updates based on my dividend income. I post my buys, sells, my updated thoughts on the market, and more. But this December, I received the most amount of dividend income yet to date. And guys, it is New Year, so it would mean a lot to me if you help me towards my goal of 1,000 subscribers if you're not subscribed yet. If you don't want to wait every month to see my buys, sells, and dividends received, make sure to join the Discord, link in the description. With all that said and done, make sure to smash the like button. And of course, for the last time until next year, roll the Christmas intro.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and all his reindeers pulling on.
Hello, I like money.
For me this year, investing has really been about learning, and I think the biggest thing that I learned about this year is really dividend growth. Over the long term, stocks with lower dividend yields and high dividend growth, like Visa, Kroger, they're going to significantly outperform stocks with higher yields and like little dividend growth, like Verizon, AT&T, 3M. For me, I want to have a mix of these stocks in my portfolio, but I want to be leaning more towards dividend growth. This is because I'm younger and I don't need to rely on the income yet. As you guys will see in my buys and sells, there's a reason for this dip in my estimated annual income. Last month it was $433. This month it was $429. My investments that pay dividends stayed the same. My portfolio yield went up a little bit from 2.89% to 2.95%. This is because of the decline in the market valuation. Right now it's kind of a weird time in the market, so we're just going to let things work out itself. And our estimated monthly income is now at $35.78. Overall, a solid month, but we are going to see a lot of increase in dividend growth. As you saw in the title, this month was the largest month of dividend income ever for me. To start off, I got $3.43 from Microsoft. Microsoft is probably one of my favorite company in the world. Amazing company with a great economic moat, financials, and I just really hope that Activision deal goes through. Next, we got $4.65 from J&J. J&J will be interesting to see what happens this November when they spin off their healthcare segment. I'm still thinking of what I'm going to do with those shares from the spun off company, but I'm probably leaning towards selling them. Next, I got $2.24 from, once again, a pretty much legal monopoly Southern Company. I should probably add a Southern Company sometime. I sold half of my position for a better opportunity, in my opinion, and to sell at some gains. It was actually really good timing though, because I sold it around $74 a share, and then it went down 20%, which is pretty crazy. Then I got $1.86 from Intel. Intel's been a tough one to own, I'll be completely honest. I do kind of regret buying it a year ago when it was at $55. I think semiconductors are going to have a huge part in the next century, which is why I'm still bullish on them for the long term, and I emphasize the long term. I knew that there were going to be some short-term struggles when I bought in, but I didn't expect the stock to decline half in price. Then I got $1.35 from Visa. Visa, again, is one of my favorite companies as well. Tremendous share buybacks, amazing financials, and over the long term, as the economy continues to grow, Visa will grow as a company. So it's one of the safest stocks to own, in my opinion. Visa also grows a really good growing dividend. Not a huge yield on it right now, as the stock is pretty expensive, but that dividend is growing, and which makes me want to buy some more. Next, I got $1.59 from UPS. UPS, you guys will see in my buys. I added to this position this month. It's one of those stocks that I bought a while ago and haven't added to. I think it's at a fair valuation right now. It's a strong company financially, and they have good dividend growth, so I was enticed to buy more. Next, I got $1.60 from Kroger. Kroger spun off is merging with Albertsons in the future, which has led to a decline in its stock price. Kroger is a very strong company financially. They have low margins on their products, but it honestly doesn't matter because of how much of a monopoly they really kind of are. They own so many grocery chains, it's unbelievable, and their acquisition of Albertsons will only make them more monopolistic. I may or may not have added to my Kroger position this month. You guys will have to see in the buys. Next, we got a whopping 35 cents from Nike. Nike's one of those companies that, again, I bought a long time ago. I'm down a little bit on the investment right now. I still think that they're a really strong company for the long term. They don't pay a huge dividend right now, but they do have good dividend growth, which makes me might want to buy some more this year. Next, I got $1.09 from VF Corp. I've debated selling VF Corp. They've been not a very good stock to me, not great dividend growth. I might be selling this one next month. Join the Discord to see if I do. Next, I got $1.12 from Corning. They basically make all the glass for Apple products and more. Technology companies, car companies. I bought Corning a while ago and I haven't added to the position. I've debated selling, but they do have some solid dividend growth and some strong financials, which has made me hold. Next, I got 68 cents from Waste Management. I feel like I've always said that I'm going to add to this position, but I never do. Waste Management's a really strong company, but they just never fall in stock price. Maybe next month I will buy. Again, join the Discord to see if I do. Next, I got $5.05 from the Coca-Cola Company. I haven't added to Coke in a long time because their stock is just overvalued right now, in my opinion. It hasn't seemed to fall in like the last 3 years, so I would buy, but it's still really expensive in my opinion. Next, of course, I got the usual monthly $3.34 from Realty Income. Realty Income is slowly becoming one of the staples in my portfolio. Next, I received $4.70 from McDonald's. McDonald's, I want it to be a core position in my portfolio. The stock is a little expensive for my liking right now. I would love to add to it this year if it ever drops or I see a buying opportunity. Next, I got $1.74 from NextEra Energy. NEE doesn't have a huge dividend for being a utility company, but they do have some solid dividend growth, which makes me might want to look to buy some more this year. Next, I received my biggest dividend ever from SCHD, which was $12.04. If you guys have been watchers of the channel, you guys would know that I've been adding to SCHD consistently. Next, I got $9.30 from 3M. 3M's been struggling a bit recently with their stock price. Long term, they should be good, but I might look at trimming some of my 3M position if I see any opportunity. Next, I got $4.39 from Target. Target's one of those weird companies. They have really good dividend growth and a solid dividend yield, so I'll definitely be looking to add some Target to my portfolio this year. And lastly, this month, I got $3.98 from Walgreens Boots. In total this month, I got $64.58 in dividends, which is kind of crazy to think about. Next December, I'm hoping to receive $100 in dividend income, which should be doable. Once again, though, this year I'm not focusing on dividend amount or yield. I'm going to be focusing a lot on dividend growth. Next, let's move on to my buys and sells in the month of December. If you guys watched my video about AT&T, you guys would know that I sold off half of my position. So at the beginning of this month, I sold 13 shares of AT&T. I got roughly $250 in capital from that. I sold not at a gain or not at a loss, so it was around flat with the dividends that I had received from those shares. I used that $250 and I bought 3 shares of SCHD at $77.77. While I would be losing some dividend income now, I would be getting better dividend growth over the long term, which is what enticed me to buy more, and I'm getting better diversification and hopefully capital appreciation as well. Next, I bought 1 share of Apple at $138.37. Apple's been on a dip recently, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to buy one of the highest quality companies in the world and add to my already big position. As much of a great company that Apple is, I would like to see some better and larger dividend growth in the future. Right now, it's like 6 to 8%. I would like to see it above 10% in the future. It makes sense, though, because they're doing huge capital expenditures and reinvesting back into making new products, etc. right now. If Warren Buffett was buying Apple at $150, I think he'd be buying it right now as well. And lastly, this month, I bought 2 shares of Kroger at $44.59. Kroger's been on a dip, and they usually don't go on a dip. They were trading at around $60 earlier in the year. Due to this Albertsons deal, there's a lot of speculation, which is good for long-term investors. Kroger does share buybacks and has incredible dividend growth right now. They're also a very strong business, and in my opinion, a very underrated stock. Now, let's look at a chart to see how my yearly dividend income has grown over the last 3 years that I've been investing. Honestly, the first year I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just buying companies that I knew, good brands like Starbucks, Target, Apple, etc. I got $78 that year in dividends. Then in 2021, I really saw that $78 and realized the potential that dividend investing could have, and I made around $170. And then this year in 2022, I made $385 in dividends. In this chart, you guys can see how my dividend income has grown over the last year. Most of the companies pay out March, June, September, December. So look at those 4 months particularly, and you could just see the upward growth. This is only the start. I'm looking towards a really good year. Also, guys, thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get monetized by the end of the year. Between you and me, it would mean a lot. Share the video with somebody that you think you would find valuable, friends, family, etc. Again, thank you for making it to the end. Smash the like on subscribe, join the Discord link in the description, and of course, lastly, make sure to always do this: do dividend stocks, not drugs. Have a great one.